Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hi friends, I am Chidra. Welcome to the grammar video. In this video, I will introduce the present tense. Present tense is a very important tense for learning English. In today's video, you will learn the present simple, the present continuous, the present perfect, and the present perfect continuous tense. I am so excited to teach you present tense today. First and foremost, I will teach you tense. What is tense? This video will solve your all tenses problem for life. Those who are master in tenses, they can write and speak English with fluency. Whether you are a housewife or you are professional or you are a student of any class, you will learn tense and can write correct English as well. If we suppose tense is the head of the family, means tense is the name of father, and he has 3 sons, and their names are present, past, and future, and each son has 4 children, and their family tradition is they keep their children's names similar. So the elder son present put the name of his sons like simple, continuous, perfect, and perfect continuous. So they were called present simple, present continuous, present perfect, and present perfect continuous tense. The second son past kept the same name, so they were called past simple, past continuous, past perfect, and past perfect continuous tense. Likely, the third son future put the same name, and they were called future simple, future continuous, future perfect, and future perfect continuous tense. Look at this tenses chart very keenly. You will find the difference between in all the 12 tenses. There is a lot to learn, so keep watching and let's get started. Firstly, we are going to learn present simple tense. For making tenses, we use subject. Subject is doer of an action, and we use personal pronoun in subject. Subject can be singular or plural. Subject can be first person, second person, and third person. First person subject is called speaker of the sentence. I and we are first person subject. I we use for singular and we use for plural first person subject. Listener in the sentence is said to be second person subject, and pronoun you is considered as second person subject. Pronoun you is used for both singular and plural second person subject. Third person subjective pronoun are he, she, it, any common or proper name for singular, and for plural we use they. Third person pronouns or subjective pronouns are called to whom we talk about in the sentence. Formation of present simple tense. There are 2 ways to make present simple tense, with verb of to be and with main verb. For making be sentences, we use subject plus is, am, are. For making verb sentences, we use subject and verb first form, means verb base form. This lesson can be a little difficult. I will try to do my best to keep it easy for you. Let's start the first usage of present simple tense. The first usage is pretty easy. We use it to talk about facts, truth, and generalization. Let's look at some example. The sky is blue. Now that's a fact. It doesn't change. Everybody knows the sky is blue. It was blue yesterday, it is blue today, it will be blue tomorrow. That makes it a fact. Look at second example. Cats are better than dogs. Now in this you may not agree with. This is my truth. I am making generalization about cats and dogs. I use be verb. Check second sentence. I use cats and I use are with cats because cats are plural. So this is the first usage. Let's move on to the next usage. We also use present simple tense to talk about habits and routine, future timetable, permanent situation, for news headline with non-progressive when talking about stories, for giving directions and instructions. Let's look at the examples. we always eat lunch at noon. You will notice I use the adverb always because I am talking about something that we do regularly. What is that? Eat lunch at noon. So I use the present simple tense, and here I use the verb eat. We eat. Look at second example. You play games every day. Do you see the clue that helps you to know that this is something that happens regularly? It is every day. So it is something that happens as a routine or a habit, and the verb here is play. The next example says, Sarah starts work at 9 a.m. daily. Sarah goes to work at 9 a.m. every day. Again, this is something that happens regularly. Now you will notice I put a red line under the S in starts. Can you figure out why? Well, remember that when the subject of a sentence is he, she, or it, we need to add an S or ES to the end of the verb in the present simple tense. So Sarah is a she. So we need an S. Sarah starts works at 9 a.m. daily. Let's talk about a possible negative usage for the present simple tense, and that is do not and does not. The first example says, Mike eats cake. I put an S at the end of eat because the subject is Mike, which is he. Now that's not a negative statement. What happens when I want to turn into a negative statement? Well, I change it like this. Mike does not eat cake. So you will notice that I did not move the S here. Instead, I added does not. It took does and not. So if the subject is he, she, or it, we use does not or doesn't to make it negative. Now check this second example. You cook well. In this case, I don't need to put an S at the end of cook because the subject is you. If I want to make the sentence negative, I use do not or don't. You do not cook well. So if the subject is I, you, we, or they, we use do not or don't. Now I will talk about one possible question form for the present simple tense. So that is by using do or does. So let's look at the examples. They live here. That's not a question. In order to turn into a question, it's really simple. All I have to do is add do to the beginning and add a question mark at the end of the sentence. Do they live here? So if the subject is I, you, we, or they, simply add do at the beginning of the question. How about this one? He plays hockey. In this sentence, the subject is he, and that's why you should know by now there is an S at the end of play. However, to turn this into a question, I add does at the beginning. Does he play hockey? What you will notice here is that I no longer have the S at the end of play. Instead, I just use does at the beginning. So for he, she, or it, put does at the beginning and don't worry about putting an S or ES at the end of the verb. If you like my video, subscribe, share, and comment.